In our first season in Denmark with FC Nordsjælland, we completed the double as we won the league and cup, all while only being allowed to sign African players. Today, we will be continuing our challenge with the hope of winning the Champions League. But before we start dreaming about winning the Champions League, we then first have to qualify for it. The board must have fallen in love with us last season since we were giving 13 million in our transfer budget to spend this summer. With this amount of money, I definitely think we can bring in new players to improve our first team. This summer we'll be looking to strengthen our defensive positions with bringing in a new goalkeeper and defensive midfielder. If we have some money left, then maybe we could bring in a new striker as well. We start out with signing a new starting goalkeeper, where we somehow have signed Toulouse Ivorian talented goalkeeper Guillaume Arestes for a fee of 14 million. For the defensive midfielder spot, we've managed to sign Strasbourg's 21-year-old Senegalese central midfielder Habib Diarra for a fee of also 14 million. We still need to sign some backup players, so we've managed to sign Iberian ball-playing defender Rocky Bushidi on a free transfer to be our third choice centre-back. Followed up with a strong midfielder Afis Aramu from German second division side Kaiserslautern for a fee of 350k, and then a loan deal for little striker Mohamed Bayo on a season loan. We then sold our young Ghanaian left-back Isaka Saidu to SV Bremen for a fee of 5 million. But don't worry, as a Swedish left-back Daniel Svensson is back from a disappointing loan spell with Borussia Dortmund, where he only managed to get 9 games, but apart from that, he actually looks pretty good and will be our new starting left back this season. Our summer transfer business is now done and we can now start our second season. We started the season off with an easy 4-0 win against newly promoted OB, but then we headed to Viborg in hope of getting our first win against them in this challenge, but as usual, we lost to them 1-0. We then took on Midtjylland at home, where we got another impressive 4-0 win in this time around. Our Champions League qualification game is now taking place, where we'll be facing Greek champions PAOK. Even though we had the first leg at home to our advantage, the Greek champions did not seem to care at all. First leg was an extremely close contest, as both teams ended up scoring 3 goals each, making it a draw. We now headed to Greece with high hopes of going through to the league stage, which we did in style with a dominant 4-1 win. This now means we officially can call ourselves a new Champions League club. We now had to take on Brøndby, where we got a bad start to the game, but thanks to a young Finnish winger Latinmäki, we turned things around in the second half, where he scored 2 goals to get us the win in the last 10 minutes of the game. After only 8 games played so far, we're now sitting in second place, only trailing by a point behind our new rivals Viborg. The Champions League stage draw has now dropped, and let's just say we're cooked, okay? We're absolutely cooked, because we'll be facing Genk, Spurs, PSG, Bayer Leverkusen, Wolfsburg, Olympique Marseille, Manchester City, and finish it all with Atletico Madrid. Whoever made these draws must do something against us, because how on earth is this even fair? We started our Champions League stage campaign at home, where we took on Belgian champions Genk. And did we win the game? Yes, indeed. Actually, we didn't give them a foot to our ground, as we ended up beating them 5-1 with 4 goals from our young Norwegian striker Simon Monsen. We then headed to North London, where we were playing against a strong Spurs side. We got an early goal from a corner, and after that we tried to go for a second goal, but we lost the ball, where Spurs now had a quick counter attack, where Madison ended up chipping the ball over Restis. Things from that point then went downhill, as we got absolutely humiliated with a 5-1 defeat. After our stay in London, we headed to Copenhagen, which looked to be another tough game. In the first half, we scored 3 goals thanks to Nene and Gomez, but in the second half, Copenhagen began the redemption arc and scored 4 goals in no matter of time. But thanks to a lucky corner goal, we thankfully got a draw. We're now headed to the city of love, Paris, for our next Champions League game against last season winners PSG. But things started bad, as Hakimi put us 1-0 down after a mistake by Mohamed Bayo, but we didn't give up that easily, as Simonsen scored to get us a point back home to Denmark. Next up, we had Bayer Leverkusen, where we conceded from a corner goal, but in the last minutes of the game we threw one goal with a 3-1, where we outplayed the defenders and scored to get us a point. We're now going back to the league, where we we had an away game against FC Midtjylland where we dominated them and won 6-3, making it a 9-goal game. In the next Champions League game, we are heading back to a neighboring country, Germany, to face Wolfsburg. This time around, we got away with an impressive 3-0 win thanks to goals from Sanusi, Habib Diarra and Bayo. The cup is now taking place where we're facing AAB in the quarterfinals. We won both legs and we ended up winning 8-2 in aggregate, so we're now into the semifinals where we're facing our rivals FC Copenhagen. We now took on Olympique Marseille in the Champions League where we somehow ended up with an amazing 6-0 win over the Frenchmen. Heading into Christmas, we're sitting top of the league after 17 games played as we're slowly starting to run away from the other teams with a 5-point lead. On the other hand, we're sitting in 10th place in the Champions League stage, only a point away from breaking into the top 8 with only 2 games left to play. The January transfer window is now open, which means we need to strengthen our team. Our first signing this window is 24-year-old Cameroonian central defender Christopher Rowe from Rennes for a fee of 800k, who will be our 4th choice centre back. We need a new starting right back as Hersberg hasn't performed that well so far this season, so we have brought in Issa Kabore from Manchester City for a fee of 3 million. Not only is he a perfect attacking minded fullback, but he also has 16 acceleration and pace, which makes him the fastest player in our team. Sadly, our captain Rocco Ascone has joined Saudi club Al Tawon after being bought out from his 4.4 million release clause, but don't worry, as our new captain Mario Dorgeles will be stepping into his position. The January transfer window is now closed and we can now continue our second half of the season. We start the new year with traveling to Manchester. We'll be facing English champions Manchester City. Bakayoko put us a goal down, but when you press the living shit out of a team, then you cause mistakes, which Simon Monson used to his favor and scored us a goal to earn us a point. We now take on Spanish side Atletico Madrid in what is our last Champions League stage game. Thanks to goal from Gomez and an astonishing finish from Nene, we win the game 2-0. After 8 league games played in the Champions League, we finish in 10th place with 15 points and are through to the playoffs. In the knockout playoff round, we're facing Olympique Marseille again, and if I'm being real, I would never have thought we would win this far in the Champions League, so let's just hope we can go all the way. So we headed to France to face the Frenchmen again, where we went down early on, but our new captain Douglas made sure we struck right back after. Svensson then scored a brilliant free kick goal, but Marseille, Stiergo Lopez then scored. But thanks to a late goal from Johannesson, we won the game 3-2. We now face them at home, where we won 3-2 again, which now means we're going through to the knockouts. We're now turning our faces back to the league, where we take on FC Copenhagen. We ended up winning another dominant win by destroying them 4-0. As things stands at the moment in the league, after 22 games played, we are leading by 13 points behind AGF. So if we win the league this time around, I might reconsider playing this game, I can't lie. We're now heading into the round of 16 in the Champions League, where we're facing FC Barcelona, and at first glance I thought this game would be very difficult for us. But Svensson had other plans, with scoring a belt of a free kick and then assisting Simonson across to put us 2 goals in front. But then Ansu Fati scored on a rebound, followed up a goal by Pedri, but in the last minute of the game, Gomez scored from a corner, which resulted in us winning the first leg. This now means we're heading to Barcelona with 1 goal in advantage, but would that be enough for us to go through? And yes, it was. To be more exact, we actually ended up with scoring 4 more goals, which resulted in us winning 4-2 and beating them 7-4 on aggregate. Before we continue our incredible run in the Champions League, we now take on AGF in the league, where we continue our dominance by collecting an easy 3-0 win. We then look to continue our dominance in Denmark with heading to Midtjylland and getting ourselves a 2-0 win thanks to goals by Valle Egeli and a stunner by Dorgeles. In the quarterfinals of the Champions League, we're facing Serie A league leaders Inter, but the game might go to our favor as half of the first team players is injured, so hopefully we can use this opportunity to get a good result when we're heading to Milan. We actually ended up scoring a reckon of 6 goals in this game, with Simonson scoring a beautiful hat-trick. And as you can guess, we got absolutely smacked in the second leg as the first team players were fit again, resulting in a 4-2 loss. But thanks to our first game, we won 8-5 on aggregate, and we are through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. In the semi-finals of the Champions League, we will be facing German champions FC Bayern Munich, but if we won the game, we could either face Spurs or Manchester City in the Champions League final. We started the game out by conceding a goal to Leroy Sané, but we quickly reacted with a goal from Sanusi, but so did Bayern with 2 goals, making it 3-1. We didn't give up that easily as we scored 3 goals to complete an insane comeback to win us the game 4-3 in the first game. In the second game, we repeated the result as we managed to beat them 4-3 again, which means we won 8-6 on aggregate, and we officially reached the Champions League final in our second season. And yeah, we are facing Spurs again, the same team that beat us 5-1 in the league stage, but this time round it will be in the Champions League final. But we first head to Denmark again as we're to face FC Copenhagen in the semi-finals of the cup. We managed to scrap a 2-1 win in the first game, and then we did the exact same thing in the second game, which means we're heading into another final this season. In the cup final, we are facing second division side AC Horsens, so it's pretty much a must-win game for us, so we can add a third trophy to our trophy cabinet in this challenge. We started off early with a lovely team goal scored by Sanusi, who also happened to score our second goal minutes after his first. Simonsen then basically stole Cabore's goal, followed by a goal from Nene to end the final in a 4-0 win. We can now lift our third trophy and be crowned as Danish Cup champions for the second season in a row, which is a huge achievement for this club. After lifting the cup trophy, we were guaranteed to celebrate another league trophy after 90 minutes of football against our biggest rival so far in this challenge, Viborg. Could today finally be the day we won against them? Let's see. In the first 10 minutes we really struggled, which led them to score a goal. At halftime in our dressing room I gave an absolutely insane team talk, which led the whole team to become confused and demotivated. But it somehow worked as Simonsen pressed their defenders and won the ball to score us a goal. And in the last minute of the game we made a beautiful team goal scored by Sanusi, which resulted in us winning for the first time in this challenge against Bloody Viborg. What an absolutely amazing journey it's been so far with this team. For the second season in a row we have completed double, but this time around we have somehow ended up in a Champions League final. The UEFA Champions League final is now here, and we're more than ready than ever to win this final, even though we lost 5-1 last time against Spurs. But today we hopefully can get a different result this time around and lift the Champions League trophy to fulfill our dreams. We had a good opportunity at the start of the game with a cross, but Benton could then push Nene down in the box in what looks like a clear pen in my eyes, but of course VAR would have a look. After the check, the ref awarded us a penalty which could give us an early lead in the final after only a few minutes played. Vale Egeli stepped up and smashed the ball into the post, and it ended up in the back of the net to give us a crucial goal. Apart from that early pen goal, this has to be one of the most boring finals ever, but with only 5 minutes to play, Sanusi got us a second goal, which led us to winning the Champions League final. We had finally done it. We won the biggest trophy in all of Europe. This also means a fantastic challenge comes to an end with 2 phenomenal seasons with us winning 5 trophies. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.